During my first hour class and my second hour class, I will be videoing. I'm hoping to get some other setup so I don't have a tripod in the middle of the class, but we'll see. Videoing what I do, okay? And then it will be hopefully that night uploaded on the website, and so that way the students and parents can access it and see what we're doing, what we're covering, and go through it. So, anyways, welcome. First or last name?
Lopez.
Lopez, I think, right? Sophia? Yep, right there. Welcome, back to school night. This is just a picture of the where you were just at. Packet items in your packets that you have on your desk. Some of that is for you. Actually, I don't even know if any of it's really for the student. Almost all of it is for parents. But with that said, we'll go through it. One of the things that are in there, it talks about the insurance, which I believe is the salmon colored document, and it talks about the insurance that you can have for the laptops. Okay, the laptops are roughly $400 or some dollars. Some of you might have got insurance last year. This year, the way they're doing it in-house. It's $40 for the policy, and then $40 for every claim. So it would be $80 max, or $80 for the first claim, and then $40 thereafter, or however you do the math. Anyways, and I'm a math teacher. The next thing on there is, as you can see, you know, a screen. If a kid breaks a screen, there were probably a dozen screens that got broken last year. Okay, and that would be $140. So if they had to replace the screen, okay, or if you had the insurance, the $40 for the policy, and then $40 for the claim. Keyboard, $40. What we found, since it's the kids' computer that they keep with them, they don't pick at the keys like when it's not theirs. Because when it's not theirs, they pick at the keys, pop the keys off, stuff like that. Well, then to replace it, it's $40. Power cord is $30. You really shouldn't have to worry about that one because all the power cords are in the cart. The case, if something happens to the case, the hard covering on the computer, that's $30 to replace. Full replacement is $440. So you get to decide with your child what you want to do. And I always look at insurance as it's kind of like a plunger. You need one, but you hope you never have to use it. So, all right. Some items might be covered under homeowners or renters policies. You'd have to check with your insurance. And then we will be doing a new the digital citizenship we did last year, but we're doing it again under a different brand, and then also we're going to be doing keyboarding in here during Rebel Power Hour and Advisory, and we'll talk about that again. Free and reduced for, if you fill one out for one child, that's all you have to do is just fill out the one for the one child. You don't have to fill it out for all the children. It's this one. So the free and reduced meals, must sign and return if you don't qualify. Office will assist if needed. It helps the school with funding. So even if you don't qualify, by you turning in your form, it helps with the percentage of returns, which helps with the funding. So student health information is another one here. Questionnaire for you to fill out. Anything that we need to know. An example, my middle child has gotten stung by bees, no problem. All of a sudden the last time, now his foot blew up. So I got to worry about an allergic reaction, getting stung by bees. Something that I know we're letting the teacher be aware of in the school. Transportation letters in the packet. That was the yellow one. The calendar was on the top. Now as you shuffle through everything, it's not on the top. It is the gray one, and it just has the school calendar. You can get the school calendar also off the website. The Rebel Way students, you remember last year you'd get to earn bucks. Some teachers hand them out like candy, and some teachers it's like safe. They don't come out unless it's really, really something important. But the prizes and so forth, they worked on those. So like for 10 Rebel Bucks you can get into the dance free. 10 Rebel Bucks is $1 in the a la carte. A number of Rebel Bucks might take place of a homework assignment in a teacher's classroom. The drawings are held, what did we hold them? Once a week last year, and then a big one for the end of the semester. Fall conferences. On the 12th, October 12th, it's an invite only. So if you'll get a phone call from me inviting you to the conference on the 12th. Usually we have that anywhere between 6 to 8 kids, and the way that's set up is just all the teachers and the parents come in one room so you can go through it quicker, but also in more detail. So that way you can meet with all the teachers and we can come up with a plan to help your child, okay? Whether it's behavior-wise or academic. The 13th, I believe the next conference is on the 13th. That is an open house. So if you don't get a call for the 12th, definitely show up on the 13th. Okay, everybody's invited for the 13th. Questions on conferences. We've done this, I think, the last 3 years, this kind of format. And from parents, we've gotten positive feedback. So if you don't like it, I guess, don't tell me, tell someone else. And then, so they know that. Questions? The website, you can get there by either dgfrebels.org. Also, you can still get there through the dgf.k12.mn.us address. Then there's middle school website. Through that, there's the activities calendar there. You have the middle school departments tab in the middle school tab. You also have parent portal. Parent portal is where you're going to go for JMC. JMC, if you remember, that's the grading. I know the kids know it because they would want to look at it 7 times in one class period just because they didn't want to do their math. So they would always look it up. Oh, I'm looking at my grades. Oh, okay, now let's get back to work. But that's for the parents to see that, see the grades, where they're at. Handbook. We'll cover the handbook first 2 or 3 weeks in class through Rebel Power and Advisory. Otherwise, we go through pretty much word for word in the handbook. So parents, if you want to go through that with your children. Here's again the website, the parent portal in here for you to access certain things. This is specifically for attendance. You know, attendance last year you called in. You can still call in using the same number, I believe, or you can go online and then fill this out, and that's done. So I haven't actually gone through and done it, but it's an option to go online and do the attendance to let us know. Technology policy, student cell phones. I know they always want to carry them in class, and they always have them off in class, but then they go off. Okay? So what is asked of you is that when you come to school at 8:30, you turn them off and put them in your locker. Okay? Everyone has a lock, so you can lock it up. Okay? And then at 3:05, you can get them back. Okay? Oh, but I need to call my mommy. It's so important. Well, you can still do that. You just go to the office and call. No problem. The office wants to know what's going on. That's why if you need to contact your child, please refrain from texting or calling them. I know sometimes that's hard to do, parents, but try to refrain from that. Their phones should be turned off. That's the policy. So there it is. Questions? All right. And then obviously if you need to get a hold of your child, you can still call the office and they'll get the message to your child. On return, students should go to the office if they are not feeling well. Don't text mommy or daddy, come get me. Okay? Go through the office. They have a procedure for you to go through and so forth. And you'll still get to go home if it's something that you need to go home for. Okay? We won't keep you here. This is, I believe this is the updated one. It might not be updated. All right. Anyways, your first 4 classes are your core classes. Your math, social, science, and English. Okay? So you're going to have your first 4 classes the first 4 hours. And then we go to Rebel Power Hour. That's still the same. And then we have lunch. But if you notice here, they don't have any passing time and stuff. So on this one, Rebel Power Hour is still 12 to 12:15. Lunch is still 12:15, 12:45. But then what you're going to do, and I'll have this up and I'll go over this with the students, more detail on Tuesday. But we have, instead of Rebel Power Hour again here, you're going to handle your supplies, your laptop, all that stuff, and you're going to go to your 6th hour class. So this gets moved up, and then you do your 6th hour class, and then again you're going to go back to your advisory to drop all your stuff off, because then your 7th hour, and I believe 7th hour for you guys is your VID music and band. Okay? And then you drop everything off back into your power hour, and then we end with advisory. So this, for right now, is a little different right in here, because we're just going to have the Rebel Power Hour once. And then this Rebel Power Hour, that 10 minutes disappeared for passing time, because they didn't have passing time calculated in there. We don't want everybody to have all those tardies. So and it's more than 4 minutes in that time period there, so don't panic. And we'll go over that in more detail. Parents, any questions on that? They got their first 4 core in the morning. So when you're thinking about dentist appointments and other appointments, if you can do it in the afternoon, that's awesome. Although I understand it doesn't always work that way, but so you have that. Not that the other classes aren't as important, but I like to think math is. So, all right, here's just a generic schedule here with somebody having geography first. They're in Mrs. Westgard. And you can look at yours. It is the green one, salmon colored. That's not salmon, it's green. This one right here, it has your schedule on there. You can see, obviously, you're all math first. So, and then from there, you're going to go to your other core classes for the first 4. We'll go to Rebel Power Hour. Then we go to lunch. And then it's a little bit of from lunch, you're going to go to 6th hour. We're just giving you more time to get there and moving that time up a little bit. And then after 6th hour, you go to 7th hour. But before you go to 7th hour, because you're going to those classes, you are, again, going to have time to come back into here to drop off your stuff. So, Silver Day on Tuesday. I'm sure she mentioned that down there. Correct?
Yes.
Okay, everyone was in a heat wave. Okay. So, Silver Day on, so in this case, this person would have Phi Ed, and then the Black Day is band and choir for this student. Okay, you can see yours on there. Some of you might have Read 180 in place of this, because trimester 1, you have Read 180 instead of Phi Ed band choir. Okay, there are some other special cases as well. It should denote that somewhere on there. Students, any quick questions? And of course, we'll go over that in more detail. You should be familiar with this. Little thing down here is that you do not, in 7th and 8th grade, you don't have to be in a music class. Locks. Everybody in here has got a brand new lock. Okay? On there, It should, just to double check, it should have your name, your last name on the little sheet of paper right there. Hopefully it has your last name. That is the lock that is checked out to you. I've already got that written out. And then that's your combination that's written there. So it'll have the equal sign greater than, or 1 equal sign greater than, that's your first number. And then 2 equal sign greater than, that is your second number. And then 3 greater than, equal sign greater than is your third number. Okay? So you can go ahead and play around with that right now. Parents, if you need help with JMC, getting set up for instant alerts or any other technology questions, you can go to the 8th grade locker bank, which is right over there. And they'll get you helped out there. We have like 4 spare lockers this year for all 350 kids, okay? Don't ask to switch a locker unless it is something very severe. Just because the person next to you annoys you and they always annoy you or whatever, if you can deal with it, deal with it. If you absolutely can't deal with it, then you can go to the office and try to get a locker switch, but it's going to be tough, and whether or not they even have a locker to have you switch into, I don't know. So, and then use your locker, don't use your buddies, because then all of a sudden someone locks it and you don't know the combo. Keep your combination private. That way you can't say, oh, but somebody else put this in my locker, or somebody else took this out of my locker. If you keep your locker locked, everything should keep secure, safe. You have your schedules, you have your locks. Does anybody have any questions? Parents, any questions? Not everybody at once, please. All right, you are free to roam, go through the schedule with your child, meet the teachers, so forth. Hopefully the other classes are filling up about this same time. Good luck. See you Tuesday.
Wait, dude, I'm locker number 6. And I'm actually quite close to Sarah.
Back in sometime between 88 and 94.
I'm your locker.
I'm not what?
Okay.
I know.
Okay. So who'd you go to school with? Who are there other kids?
Okay, what number are you? 122.
Okay. Yeah, that. So let me go this way. Craig Reno. Were you older or younger? Okay. All right. Yeah, that's very possible. Because I think his was the first class that me and Tony Reno coached together. We did Big Ruth together, and then we did 13-year-old together. And then even one year on my own, I did 6th grade. Yeah, very possible. Have a good day.
Where can we leave our Kleenexes? Can we leave them somewhere?
Yeah, right up on top there, anywhere.
Anywhere. All right.
Up top. Perfect.
Sounds good. Thank
I
you.
don't think I really need the lot, because I have one at home, which I can bring on Tuesday.
I think they want you to use this one though.
Okay, I can do that.
Okay.
All right, I can do that.
All right.
Okay, go on.
Okay.
I've been pushing for it.
Okay. Yeah, and then let me write that down. And that is for Chris. And then, all right. No, thank you. Planners, I think are out there as well. Otherwise, online, office. Yes.
But not for new. I have a question. She was more new here, and she
Okay.
was in advanced math last year.
Okay.
She's just wanting to know if she's in advanced again this year. talk to Heidi about it when
Yep.
we got here.
Okay. Is this something that happened like 3-4 weeks ago? You guys registered?
We were, yes.
Okay.
We were,
And I believe we talked about it when we looked on the transcript. It had in there as a note she would be in regular math the next year. Is what it had as
she
for a
got
note.
an 8.
I know, but that's what it had for a note. Because see, the hard part is somebody's advanced class, because of all the different standards and how they range things, the names have changed so that algebra, when someone says algebra, it doesn't mean that they're in algebra. It might mean that it's the 8th grade class. Or some people might be in advanced class because it's just called that to make it sound better. I don't know.
Then I need to talk to them.
Yeah, I would go back and talk to her again, and then
Okay.
we will. I guess we'll revisit. Also, I know for both of us, philosophy is you guys really want it. I mean, we're not going to say no. You know, I mean, we'll provide that opportunity. I don't have a problem
Yeah,
with that.
because
It's
that
just
was one of the things with moving that we were worried about, because nobody,
yeah.
the small, she was in advanced English and advanced math this year, so
Okay.
she had to give up advanced English, and she was really worried about not having
advanced.
already done the
Right.
work here
Yeah.
doing this
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
So,
I absolutely hear you. I guess that would, we'll have to just revisit that. So if you want to stop in and talk to her, then she'll talk to me. But I know from past, when parents are adamant, no, this is what we want, and this is where they're at, and okay.
Okay, all right, I'll talk to her then. Yeah, I don't see the fun of her retaking the same.
Right.
Last year.
Right. So,
Okay,
yeah, absolutely.
all right.
Yeah, because a lot of times we have to kind of guess, because each school, like I said, each school describes and gives descriptions differently.
Okay,
Because like I know our 8th grade, we teach everything out of the algebra book,
right.
but I just don't do the extra lessons in each chapter, the
Okay.
harder lessons
Yeah.
in each chapter for the 8th graders. So they'll say, oh, but I took algebra last year. Well, no, you didn't. You just worked out of an algebra
They
book. So
definitely
just
took
say
algebra
that.
last year.
No, yeah. So that's just our scenario situation. So
Okay, yeah, and so I'm gonna talk to Heidi and have her switch it.
I cannot. I'm not repeating, I'm saying.
They had
All
a,
right.
they had
So
a
then,
pilot thing last year.
and then if that gets changed, the advanced class is 2nd and 3rd hours. So you'll get moved, schedule will change, and you'll be 2nd or 3rd.
Okay,
So,
alrighty,
all right.
I will take care of that.
Okey dokey.
Thank you, up there. Thank you.
Yeah. Hello.
Caitlin gave this to me.
Oh.
She finally cleaned out her backpack today from last year. And
I
said,
got a whole bag from Mr. Reno over there. He has a drawer like this, and a lot of them have 256 or Altaveli or something on them because they same thing. And all of a sudden they clean out their bag for the next year,
Yeah.
and they're like, "Oh, I got a calculator."
well,
then
and this one's got some, she said,
Ashley.
Allie gave it to me. And I said, well, it says Justin Ashby on it or something.
Yeah, yeah. So thank you though.
Yes,
We'll have that.
looks like you need a few more.
We do. One thing that hopefully they have this year too is on their computers, there's supposed to be an app now that will actually pop up a TI-84
Oh.
graphing calculator should pop up on their, and I don't know how that's going to work yet.
Well, you know, Caitlin, we already got ours.
Oh, there you go.
And she said, well, it's not going to just come out
And
for college too.
right,
so.
and it'll be easier to use that than on the screen.
Yeah.
So a lot of people don't.
We walked into office and I was sitting around sale and first heard, it's like,
Perfect.
I'm like, yep, we do, so.
All right.
Do
Say
you-
hi for me.
So when, well, I mean, we have Megan coming yet, but, so when we end up with 2 extra, because they won't use these anymore, do you guys just want them?
Yeah, because I mean, there's always kids who, for whatever reasons, don't function as well using what's on the screen. You know,
Sure.
I mean, the computers are like anything. 80% it helps, 20% it makes it dysfunctional.
Right.
For whatever
Certain
reason.
things, I mean, I'm not like, certain things I just like to print it off and look at it on paper so I can break it.
Exactly.
Something on it.
Exactly. So, Yep. All right, thank you. Yep, thank you.